This podcast is part of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network. For more great podcasts, head over to bigheadsmedia.com. Hi there, folks, and welcome to TV Tuners. It's a television podcast for the true fanatics.
You can bet on that.
It's a weekly dive in the latest in TV news and reviews. I'm your host, Swanson. With me, as always, is my co-host and guy whose dad died and he's looking for revenge, Stairmaster.
Fuck! Me pop moldering.
Oi, me pop died?
Oh, all the gross nasty worms pecking at him.
Me pop been popped.
Proper knackered.
Me pop been popped and now you're gonna get topped.
Me name is rapping... What's a British name?
Eugene.
Me name is rapping Eugene and I can't rap real British, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No one can. Proven fact.
If you're enjoying these aborted character bits...
Why?
What's the rest of the... Yes, why?
And with us as always is our other wait a minute.
Yes.
It's just me and you.
Yes, that's why we're so dysfunctional today.
Yeah.
It's just the two of us. The TV tuners no one asked for.
But hey, we're giving it to you anyway because we provide weekly content and we cannot be stopped.
Yes.
Will not stop.
Can't stop, won't stop. Once you pop, you can't stop.
I think that's the saying.
Can't
it's
stop
good enough
till
to be the
get
saying.
Enough. Yes, it's one of those four.
And listen, we're here today to talk about a show that we all loved, and also, of course, to mourn the loss of our dear friend Kyoran.
Yes, tragically dead from bee allergy when he got stung to death by hornets.
According to Dr. Coroner. He was in fact murdered by hornets, and he did use the word murdered,
even though Keo was the one kicking the nest.
Yeah, so it seems like it was sort of a premeditated attack.
Yeah, and this was a hornet's nest in the state of Colorado, a stand your ground state,
a buzz your ground state too. Listen, if you like what you're hearing so far, in honor of Keo, why not go and subscribe?
Yeah.
He would have really loved that.
Maybe post some eulogy as a 5-star review on Apple iTunes.
Because of course subscribing is only the first step. You can post a review or tell your friends about us and help us get noticed. We're available on all of the podcatchers of your choice: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, Amazon Music, and more.
Sony Podcast. Nintendo Podcast, Atari Podcast.
We're available on your Switch device. Go check it out. Look there. Search TV Tuners. You'll find us
on the Nintendo eShop.
Yeah,
if you download it, you get a new hat in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, it has like our logo on it.
You have a little TV around Link's hat.
Yeah,
and you're wearing the Gerudo dress at the same time.
It's a pretty great look, honestly.
Can't wait to see that at the next Mardi Gras. I guess Mardi Gras isn't the place to be anymore.
No, it turns out outside is not the place to be anymore.
Whoa. I thought more about like Hurricane Katrina, but yeah, that is true too.
Yeah.
COVID. It's like Hurricane Katrina, but everywhere.
Oh, do you think David Simon's going to make a lackluster show about that one?
Yeah, and there'll be... What do you think? Yeah, and you'll have Trump played by the... Jay Landsman's actor in The Wire.
Oh my God.
I would love that, actually.
Yeah, that sounds good, actually.
God, they need to hire us for television immediately.
I can never quite figure out what it is about Treme that isn't like interesting.
Do you think it might be how all the characters on the show are You know.
Touring.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, that might have something to do with it.
I was going to say something that started with the letter B.
Oh. Well, I guess we'll never know.
Yeah. Or maybe we'll find out at the end of the podcast.
Ooh, big reveal.
Probably not. I see no way of calling back to that.
You just pull out photos of your heritage.
Tonight on TV Tuner, Stairmaster's secret heritage revealed. Does he possess the inward pass?
So, yes, welcome to the show. Subscribe on all of the podcatchers of your choice. Mm-hmm. And, of course, as always, we have a Twitter page where you can go and look at our stuff. It's full of TV content. Nothing else. It's at TV Tuners on Twitter.
And or you can use best.
Oh, yeah?
We do our best with our access to Twitter to find the premium tweets. The greatest on the internet.
That's right. Constant, great tweets. In fact, I think one of ours went, semi-viral.
Oh. Yes, that did go semi-viral. We got, 200 retweets.
Yeah, for us, that's considered viral.
So I can't wait to die.
And, we really appreciate any feedback that we get from you guys, so you can use the hashtag TVTuners, and we'll also give a glance at what you're saying. Mm-hmm. And with that out of the way, why don't we go to our Tweet of the Week segment, huh, Star?
Yes. Well, this Tweet of the Week comes from Frag at RedDennis0.
Ooh, okay.
He writes, anyone who rated Gangs of London, get on Dogs of Berlin. Belter German series.
Okay. You know what? I don't normally ask for this, but you want to just read that one more time for me.
Anyone who rated Gangs of London, get on Dogs of Berlin. Belter German series. I think you're trying to say better? But the L is nowhere near the T on the keyboard.
Yeah, so I have to assume it means Belter.
And he typed this on the Twitter web app. So it wasn't autocorrect or anything.
So Dogs of Berlin, did you look this up at all?
No. As far as I know, it's a German series. Which is not what we...
Well, yeah, I guess so. Let's see. Dogs of Berlin.
Two cops investigate the murder of a famous Turkish soccer player. Jocker player. What the fuck is wrong with me today? But one of them has underworld connections that mire the case in controversy.
Interesting. I see one flaw here right away, which is that it is a Netflix show.
And that this is about... and that Gangs of London is not a better German... It's not a German series in any way, shape, or form.
Well,
I guess they are true. Saxons.
Yeah, you're probably right. This kind of looks like a German version of Terriers. And I'm saying that because there is a fucking dog on the cover with two detectives.
Yeah, there's two detectives. In this show, there's only one. Effectively.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
So completely different genre, completely different culture.
Also, one's directed by Gareth Evans and one isn't, so I would have to imagine the other one might be a little sparse.
Know who directed it.
Yeah, true. Probably
Director,
some German guy.
Christian Albert. Let's see what he directed.
Not The Raid.
That's true. Oh, this is dire. There's only 4 things on here.
Yeah, this doesn't look very good to me.
He's directing Django Lives. He's just listed on... And he's also directing a film titled Riptide. Afro-German Michaels accidentally gets pulled out to sea on his surfboard. He encounters a floating death trap loaded with migrants. While struggling to survive among them, his wife Anne is leading the search to find him. Just in time.
So wait, it's a...
Is that supposed to be before time runs out?
Maybe it's a spoiler. Just in time. So what do they mean by loaded death trap loaded with migrants?
I guess it's just a very shoddy ship. A decrepit ship.
Like, it's not like some sort of, like Jigsaw from Saw didn't, like, throw out, like, some sort of weird death trap with a bunch of migrants.
Yeah, when I saw Death Trap, I thought there were going to be, like, games and stuff you'd have to win.
Yeah. That's, you know what? These Saw movies, they're doing them again.
They need to be more like The Purge, is what you're saying, with a political aspect.
Maybe, but also, just set one of them out and see.
Oh, like on Jeffrey Epstein's Island?
Yeah, like an island version of Saw. That's more. I think that's a
Island
refreshing.
Saw.
I think that's a refreshing take.
That'd be fun. Except I don't watch any of the Saws.
Yeah, like Saw, whatever they're on now, like Saw 18, like Beach Adventure, Beach Peril.
Yeah, Beach Peril. It's got to be Peril because Adventure, you're just thinking like, oh, it's gonna be fan service.
Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna give this tweet a tune out. Sorry. I don't know what this Dogs of Berlin stuff is, but
weird comparison.
Yeah,
not true.
All right, well, better luck next time, Frag.
I tried, buddy.
Yeah, better luck next time, Frag. Keep trying at it, and maybe one day you'll get it. That's it for the tweet of the week. So, of course, that's not the only way to reach us by Twitter. You can email us.
That's
if
true.
you have any quips, comments, questions, foresights, or otherwise, you can send them to us at tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com. What's that email, Stairmaster?
podcast at gmail.com.
That's right. Yeah, you can be like Infinigeo.
Oh, no.
Who sent in this email? TVT without TV?
This is getting out of hand. Now there are infinity of them.
I guess if you subscribe to like the multiverse theory, there are sort of an infinite number of all of them.
I'm assuming it's like the cosmic entity Geo that represents all the Geos. That's why he's infinite.
Oh, like the Zone Cop?
Yes.
Version of Geo?
The Zone Cop? That's what you go for?
I don't know. That was the first thing that came out of my head.
I thought you were going to think of Marvel or something. Fuck. Was the Zone Cop like Green Sonic? Or was he also blue? I can't remember.
No, he was also blue. They never showed his face, though.
No, I think they showed it once, and he's crying because he's also Sonic. And that's why he's crying.
Roderick Fitzgerald Podcast III, Galactic King of Podcasts, has decreed that the TVT boys are to no longer discuss TV at all, but must continue their podcast regardless, under threat of Infinideath. Infinideath is some real bad shit.
I know from first-hand experience.
The chef had it back in 2008. Some things shouldn't be. Did he mean the chief or the chef? I guess it says chef.
The chief! Our chief!
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, who's now known as Mr. Pod instead of Chief Pod.
It's true. We haven't really talked to him in a bit. I feel like maybe we should call him. Right. Yeah. If TVT was about any non-television topic, what would it be? Literature? No. Filipino cuisine? Maybe. No. A sort of Platoon-esque thing where Stairmaster is the spiritual son of two separate ideological fathers, Swanson and Keogh. Swanson is the Willem Dafoe parallel, obviously, and we tag along as he figures life out.
I don't think... Is Platoon a movie about figuring it out? I thought Platoon was a movie about warping hell. Wait, no, that's Full Metal Jacket, sorry.
Well, both are kind of like that. Hobbyist birdhouse construction?
Maybe.
Gotta go. No time left. No time. I think if we were going to go with any topic that wasn't television related, it would probably be like...
We gotta be careful, because if we give separate answers, that's like... We're gonna have to get podcast divorce.
Oh, uh-oh. Yeah, I don't know what non-television topic we would sort of bounce off of.
I was always thinking, since we're hacks, it would either be anime or movies.
Well, I guess that counts as a non-television topic.
Yeah, we have too much dignity to do a video game podcast.
Yeah, and we're not smart enough to do a politics podcast. Yeah, I don't know.
Let's do a true crime podcast where we just research serial killers.
Oh, yeah. There you go. There's not enough of those yet, and they aren't dominated. And the problem with that genre is that they're not dominated by men.
It's true.
So we really need to really sort of worm our way in there and sort of crush the competition.
Is you blokes recording?
Yes, we're recording. Get out of here, you fucking... Get out! Ah!
I brought crystal clean water for you guys to enjoy.
I can't believe you've gone and done this.
Yeah, so what's going on here? Do you guys join a gang while I was gone? What's the deal?
Are you back already? What are you doing here?
We're known as the Half House Boys. Oh, wait, hold on. We need to change our name immediately.
Yeah, that's a bad one.
I don't quite get it.
Because we live in half of a house.
Oh. Well, I'll have you know that I have brought another half for this house.
Oh, is that...
Wow.
Yeah, I've got this, this tanker truck full of crystal clean water. And basically, I can park it in front of the open half to block it off.
That's true. It's like Dawn of the Dead. The original. I guess also the second one. The remake.
Yeah, so what did I step into here? We talking about murder?
What were we talking about? Yeah, we were talking about true crime podcast and how women feel about it.
Well, I mean, I have a lot of questions here for what you stepped into exactly.
I also have a question of, I thought you were dead.
Yeah.
Where have you been? Where did you find this crystal clean water?
We thought that you had died searching for crystal clean water, but then also I was informed that you've been murdered by hornets that you kicked.
Okay, well, it's Alright, so I was looking for crystal clean water. I headed into the mountains. And I found the spring. There was with the water. You could get the water from there. And
you mean the oasis?
Yeah, in the mountains, the mountain oasis, and
I guess it's like a grotto.
Yeah,
in your case.
So the hornet's nest was sitting there in front of the spring, and
like hanging above it. Oh wait, do hornet's nests hang off of things, or are they like mounds from the ground? They
can hang off of things. They're disgusting creatures. So
filthy.
Yeah. One thing you got to know about hornets is they love to hang.
Yeah, so I went ahead.
They love that hang time.
I figured, I could just kick the hornet nest and they would just leave.
Uh-huh.
So I gave it a quick kick, and yeah,
yeah, they are fiercely territorial.
Yeah, so
sort of like that's Half House Boys.
Yeah, I was hospitalized. I died in the hospital room.
Yeah, the doctor said you were dead.
Yeah, I did die, but I'm reincarnated.
What?
Oh,
wait.
Yeah, so now my name is Keo 2.
Oh, okay, Keo 2.
Oh, all right. Well, I mean, we'll just call you Keo for short.
Okay. So yeah, that's the story. I got the crystal clean water, ready to go.
Good. My throat is parched.
Yeah. Well,
now follow-up question.
Drink up, buddy.
If we were going to do a non-TV topic, what would it be?
What's the best kind of breakfast food?
Oh,
interesting.
Okay, yeah. We could probably get a lot of episodes out of that. Just covering different breakfast foods and seeing if they're the best or not.
It's just pancakes every week.
So we're talking about doing like a true crime podcast?
Yeah. Because it's sort of a field that like a lot of women listen to, and also a lot of women like produce podcasts of that.
Yeah.
So we really need like 3 dudes to get in there and sort of...
I was thinking we could meet girls if we did that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that'd be really good for you, Stair.
Yeah. I guess I would be the only one benefiting from that. Whoops.
Yeah.
I noticed you also brought, there's a little fly on your head.
What?
Yeah, there's a little, like, fly hanging out on your head. What's up with that?
We need to stop the podcast to deal with this fly.
Oh, yeah. So it's a bit of a long story. All right, so I am... Oh, God, I didn't want to have to explain this to you guys, but I am also Beelzebub now.
Oh.
Oh. I feel like you should have led with that.
How did you... Wait. Now? Who was Beelzebub before?
Oh, some guy in hell.
Oh.
What happened to him?
Oh my god, I have to give you the whole story here. Look, I killed him, I took his place, I came back to the mortal plane to spread horrible play. Oh, just look, are we doing a
Yeah, we are doing a podcast right now.
Yeah, so you guys are going to be helping me out with that whole thing. All that stuff's going to happen. So it's going to go down, blah blah blah, into the world,
Well, I'm just happy to have you back on the show.
Oh, thank you. I didn't watch the program. I know it was about some kind of they don't have guns, they have knives, right?
They have some guns.
There's some guns, but most of it's knives.
This is like a knife violence show.
Yeah. I feel like it might be a good thing overall when we give our final takes that you didn't watch this, because I feel like you might not have liked the very intense violence of this show.
Kia's a lover, not a fighter.
Yeah.
Except for that time he fought Beelzebub.
Yeah.
And the Hoarder's Nest.
Yeah, it wasn't really much of a fight in either case.
Oh! What? So the Hoarder killed you instantly, but you killed Beelzebub
I wasn't
instantly.
fighting him. I was like, no!
Do you hang out with the Hellraiser gang? Is Pinhead there? Who's the big guy, Butterball?
Bubber.
Yeah, those guys, they're creepy. They're creepy.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of the point.
They're weird sex weirdos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They wear, some would say, too much leather.
They're like, welcome to my universe of...
Carnival of Sin?
Yeah, my universe of masochistic pleasure, and I'm like,
So you steer clear of those guys.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good to know.
But there is this other group of individuals who I am pretty chill with. There's this guy, his eyes are sewn shut, and he's got an exposed brain. He's pretty chill.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that. That sounds just as bad.
That sounds painful, having your brain exposed to the air.
He doesn't seem to be in any pain at all. He's actually happy, I think.
Oh, he's smiling, having a good time.
He gives these grandiose speeches about causality.
Oh.
Ooh, okay.
All right, so did I step into the email segment?
That's right.
Yes.
Oh, okay. This is a very long email response. I hope, he will be very happy.
Yeah, we usually don't dedicate nearly a third of the podcast to an email response. But...
Oh, good. Now we don't have to talk about the show as much.
So, let us move on from this. Thank you for the email, Gio. And you can all have responses like that, although not as long, if you send an email to tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com. What's that email, Gio?
Crystal Clean TV Tuners Podcast @gmail.com.
That's right. And, with that all out of the way, we did have it set up here for a 2-person rabble. So I guess we'll sort of just go along with that, and you'll just have some fun reactions, Gio.
Yeah, I'm gonna give a very strong reaction to these rabble reviews.
All right.
Oh, you're gonna like this one, the one I found.
Start us off.
Oh, okay. This might be a showstopper.
First, let me explain for someone who might be new. So, the rabble is us sort of looking at what other people have to say about the TV show we're watching this week to get you sort of hyped and excited to stick around for later in the show when we give the official TV Tuners consensus.
Oh, I just thought it was for people who wanted instant gratification or huge babies otherwise.
Well, I mean,
that is literally everyone in the United States, just for the record.
True. Our primary fan base. Number 2 being Estonia, of course.
Of course, yeah. Shoutouts. Start us off with this IMDb review, Star.
Alright, this comes from user Kareem XX,
Ooh.
who writes, "This is fascism. What the hell is Turkey's Kurdistan? How dare you to try and divide our country? They do slave trade in there all history, and now they are trying to villainize us." What? 1 out of 10 stars.
What?
Apparently someone from Kurdistan shows up in this show, and that's not allowed.
And that... yeah, I guess. And that also hasn't happened in the episode we watched.
Or wait, are they talking about... No, they're talking about Turkey, I think. Turkey did under slavery, since they're referring to the Ottoman Empire. So some Turkish people show up in the show.
Yeah, you can't have that.
Do you think they were like really mad about the Albanians?
Oh, maybe. I think everyone hates Albanians, even like Americans who aren't aware of its existence.
Looking it up, there is apparently a Kurdish PKK militant who shows up on the show.
Oh, that's badass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The next I just went back and saw the other review, and the second one is PK propaganda film. It is a shame and also dangerous how the show glorifies baby killers like PKK terrorists.
Yeah, let's have a crystal clean water toast to PKK terrorists.
Yeah.
I'm more of a white PG guy. Since they have the communist theory reading hours.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm on board with whatever militant group you want to get on board with, Sarah.
Mark DeMurder writes, terrorist organization sympathizer. In the first scene of the third chapter, the inscription Turkey Kurdistan appears. There is no such place as Kurdistan in Turkey, and it shows the Turkish soldiers as illegal. The PKK terrorist organization makes innocent Turkish soldier look bad, whereas the situation is the opposite. Whereas...
I'm starting to notice a theme here.
All these reviews only have one person finding them helpful, which is weird because you think it would be like 3 or 2.
It's one person, the nation of Turkey.
That's how, yeah. Only one person's allowed to have an internet account in Turkey, and he has to represent everyone else.
Yeah.
Oh, what a hard job.
So I've got some critics' reviews here. I'll start with the... there are a lot of positive reviews for this show on the Rotten Tomatoes. So I'll start with the positive one here. This is from John Anderson of the Wall Street Journal. It takes its story very seriously, Gangs does, but it's also audacious enough to engender goodwill and enigmatic enough to keep one engrossed.
Ooh, enigmatic.
There are a lot of mysteries going on.
Yeah, there's a guy who dies and nobody knows who did it.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's kind of an intrigue. There's also like a twist at the end of this first episode.
Temporarily unsolved mystery.
Yeah, they don't get Robert Stack involved in this. Presumably because he's dead, but... A man is shot and no one knows why.
I could get him.
Yeah, why don't you bring him back?
I guess you could, since you're from hell.
Yeah, Netflix needs like a good host for Unsolved Mysteries.
It's real expensive to get people from heaven, though. Because that's where Robert Stack is.
Oh.
Oh, well, yeah, because he solved all the mysteries.
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, I could do it, sense. Pull some strings. You know how it is.
Yeah, you gotta grease the wheels. Alright, so this is the negative review, which is, it's a negative review, but it is rated 3 out of 5. And it's by Deborah Ross of The Mail on Sunday, aka The Daily Mail.
Oh, my favorite source of information.
Well, it's an actual British person, so maybe there's...
I am a grown-up. I don't like violence, but know it has a place on screen, and I can take it. But when it is as brutally cynical as this, and as geared to a fanboy audience as this, I can't take it so well.
Hold on. She says she doesn't like violence, but knows it has a place on screen. What is the point of violence on screen if you don't like it?
It can be gratuitous and pointless.
Yeah. I don't necessarily know if it's gratuitous and pointless in this, but it's hard. I guess it's hard to say. As for this, I don't know if I am a grown up is necessarily a great way to lead your little blurb on. As we've shown before, though, Rotten Tomatoes seems to just sort of pick a blurb at random.
It's very mature to be paid to write essays that only 50-year-olds and above will read.
True.
Each week.
Yeah, and ones that are geared towards, what's a good word for how they gear their essays here, Kyo?
People who don't like the cast of Katrine.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, I would describe the people who read Rotten Tomatoes reviews as rabble.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So there you go. That was the Rabble segment. Stay tuned later and you'll get our official take on Gangs of London. And yeah, with that out of the way, let's get to what we watched this week. Anything fun, interesting?
Oh, I watched Eliminators from 1997. No, I watched Drive from 1997.
Drive.
Interesting. Yes. Starring Mark Dacascos and Kadeem Hardison.
Tap Cars?
There is cars. It is sort of like a road trip movie. But the drive refers to the biomodule that's inside Mark Dacascos' body.
Oh, wow.
It allows him to do strong and fast kung fu to all of his enemies.
I wish I had that.
Yeah.
Yeah, instead all I can do is like weak and slow kung fu.
She's easily foreseeable.
Yeah.
And I thought it was gonna be forgettable, but it's like a Western take on Hong Kong action. It's pretty amazing, these set pieces. People are constantly getting their backs broken by being thrown onto things very roughly.
Interesting.
And there's a comedic black relief. There's a comic relief black guy sidekick. But he gets some kills in too and shoots some people. And he cuts a guy's arm off with a chainsaw.
We got one of those guys in hell.
Oh, is it Chris Tucker?
Yeah.
Oh, he's down there?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, has he been a demon this whole time?
Damn! So hot in here!
No, he's not a demon. He just has an elevator that can head down there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what's inside the little St. James Temple.
When you killed the original version, or I guess that current version of Beelzebub, did he like exclaim, "You got knocked the fuck out"?
Damn, he going to Super Soul Society.
Yeah, there was a whole peanut gallery. He was within that group.
Oh, that's delightful. What, were those two old men from the Muppets there as well?
Yeah. So it was kind of hard to see what was going on because it was just like a big audience. And I don't know why there was. It was like a covert assassination I did.
Well, word gets around, apparently,
it's
in hell.
It's hell. It's very metaphysical, Keo.
Yeah.
Not everything there is literal.
You say that, but even being there, it's hard to comprehend how it works,
Also, I watched Wolf Warrior.
Wow, lots of watching going on there.
With Scott Adkins playing the bad guy of the private military corporation. So yeah, he had the guy join the titular Wolf Warriors, which is a special ops team in China that emulates other foreign special ops. But in the opening scene, our hero kills this drug guy during a bus gone wrong. And that's how he gets promoted. But the boss, the guy's brother, is the big crime lord and wants revenge. So he hires Scott Adkins' private military company to try and murder him during a military exercise. So there's a bunch of dudes fighting in the woods. It's got some cool set pieces, but the editing is kind of like there's too many fast cuts, I think. Like, we got all these talented martial artists doing stunts, but you're not really letting the choreography flow.
Are there any wolves?
Yes, there was a scene where they massacre wolves.
Oh,
they
no.
Get around and have to beat them with club them with their rifles and stab them with bayonets and do sick martial arts moves. One of the wolves gets set on fire.
Interesting. And these are real wolves that they use, obviously.
Of course. Also, props, this film has a blooper reel at the end, despite being manly military propaganda.
That's something that I would love to see, sort of like in a Rambo movie, just like a bunch of blooper reels where Stallone's like, "Oh, I shot the wrong guy."
Oh, my ass!
Yeah, oh my ass.
Oh, so here I fell and flattened my ass. I had to. That's a very bad Sylvester Stallone. I'm sorry, everyone.
Imagine a blooper reel where Sylvester Stallone just dies doing a stunt.
He gets impaled.
Oh, so it's like The Crow or whatever. Not The Crow. Whatever.
Yeah, that's right. Where Brandon
Is
Lee
that the
died.
one? Yes.
Yeah. Oh, imagine if they played that at the end as a blooper.
Isn't The Crow really good in spite of that? I hear some people's.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
Oh. I don't know if that's better or worse if you die in a movie and then it's really good. Do you want that?
Ask Heath Ledger.
Well, he died after the movie was done, so that doesn't count.
I guess it's true.
So yeah, they kill wolves. They kill other human beings.
Ooh, lots of killing.
Yes, you'll love to see it. Not as good as the sequel. Tune out.
Ooh.
Oh, I've also, most importantly, I'm watching After War Gundam X.
You're watching a lot of programs.
And this one's kind of cool because it's a Gundam that came out right after Evangelion, so it bombed in the ratings and almost killed the franchise.
Yikes.
But it's like the original Gundam meets like Fist of the North Star / Trigun.
Oh.
It takes place like 15 years after this apocalyptic war between the Earth and the space colonies, where the space colonies just decide to drop themselves, all of them, on the Earth. So like all the continents are just completely reshaped. And now there's like this weird economy. Yeah, there's like this weird new social order. Yeah, they suicided themselves. There's this weird social order / economy where the people with mobile suits are basically untouchable except by other people with mobile suits. So they've got like this weird vulture culture going on where people are constantly following each other and trying to get the mobile suits.
That sounds like a bad time.
Yeah. But the thing is, the show's kind of also wacky at the same time. Like, it doesn't know what it wants to be.
Okay.
But the thing... it is still kind of fun, though.
So is that a tune-in still?
Yes. That's a tune-in. The robot... There's multiple Gundams. There's a bad guy who looks like Aizen. And he has a bad guy brother who also looks like Aizen, but with a different hairstyle.
Wow.
So I watched the season finale of The Boys.
I, too, watched the season finale of The Boys.
I, too, watched season finale of The Boys.
And I don't know.
Right.
I just kind of lost interest halfway through, kind of put my head down.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, right when they were getting ready to, like, attack, you were just like, oh, I'm done.
I'm like, I'm bored. Why aren't the superheroes fighting?
Yeah.
Good night, ZZZ.
Yeah, actually, it was really good.
Yeah, that's like the best. That's like a very conclusive finale, like the fourth season finale, Breaking Bad.
Yes, it felt. I was actually kind of shocked at how slight spoilers. I think we're gonna get into. At least there's one thing I want to talk about, but I'm gonna try not to do anything major spoilers wise. But if you're a little iffy about listening, if you haven't watched any of season 2 of The Boys yet, maybe skip ahead a little bit.
Let's skip ahead 180 seconds.
Yes. So, yeah, it's a great finale. They tied up way more than I thought they would, to be honest.
Yeah, they could end the show right there, and you'd be like, okay.
Yeah. I saw a lot. I didn't see a lot. I saw a fair bit of people who were not happy with the reveal with the AOC stand-in, which is kind of baffling to me, but because there's little to go off of.
Well, I think she...
All we get is that she's, like, the person who's exploding heads.
Yeah, but that means she's a bad person.
Well,
you can't be a
but
good
it also
person if you explode other people's heads.
I saw a lot of people being like, this is like both sidesism.
No, I don't
about the
think
issue.
No, I think they're saying that the AOC is a controlled opposition. By that logic, it would just be one-sidism again.
Yeah, and I feel like people just want to look at the surface on this one, which is just that, like, oh, they're vilifying their AOC stand-in. But isn't it kind of the point that, like, even someone who is, like, praised...
It's almost like this show is critiquing our society.
Yeah. Like, even someone who's praised as a widely progressive candidate could be a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Yes.
So we should not have hero worship?
Yeah.
I don't think we should have women in office.
Oh.
That's what Swanson's saying.
Oh, okay. Not quite what I was going for.
Oh,
but
hey, I got a phone call. I got to take this. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
What's it from?
Hey, Obama. How's it going, my man?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Got him on the pod?
Probably because he's from hell now.
Hey, do you want to come on the TV Tuners podcast?
Oh.
No?
Oh.
He only does Conan.
Yeah, I understand, man. Yeah. Alright, yeah. So, alright, so if you can get me those drones...
Oh, what?
He wants hell drones?
Yeah. No, I'm not gonna do that. No, it's fine. Look, if he says anything, I'll break his arms.
Oh, who?
No. Look, you gotta stop yelling at me, man. Seriously.
Oh, what? Wow. Obama's getting really pissed.
Obama's yelling?
All right, look, just give me the 3 drones. I'll take care of it.
What?
Yes, 1,000 years of torment. Yes.
What?
Look, I'm in the middle of a podcast. We'll talk about this later. Just give me the drones. It'll be fine. Okay? All right? Okay. All right, catch you later, man. Love you. Bye.
Love you.
Don't forget to kiss.
Oh, we're not on the... No, it's not like that.
Oh.
I'm sorry about that, guys. I know that was really rude, but... Look, busy schedule. You know how it is.
So Obama, like... do you know Obama now through your connections?
Yeah, he's the Antichrist.
Oh. Yeah, that makes sense.
Turns out Rush Limbaugh was right.
Yeah.
Oh. I thought Trump was the Antichrist and, like, COVID was that head wound.
No, I mean... Trump's not really... I mean, look...
Trump is the whore of Babylon.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That
Checks
tracks.
out.
But, my final bit here is that, like...
Oh?
It wouldn't be the first time in the history of the world that someone has used a progressive campaign to, like... And I really think it would be weird to be like, oh yeah, this stand-in for AOC also equates to their feelings on the actual person.
They might, though, because there's some people who think that.
Yeah, and I guess I get that.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But also, like I said, there's so little to go off of in terms of, like... There's nothing that we get other than the fact that she's the one who's doing this thing.
Yeah, it's not really clear what her actual motives are.
Yeah.
And now that 3 minutes have passed.
Oh, okay. So in the end, turns out girls do get it done.
That's a tune-in for the boys. See you next week.
Yeah. Better than season 1, I thought. What about you guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought all overall things were like way more consistent this season.
Yeah, a lot more consistent, and I feel like season 2 it leaned less on shocking us than the season 1 did, I guess.
Yeah, like it wasn't that there wasn't
shockers.
Yeah, it wasn't that there wasn't shocking stuff in it. It was just like
not leaning on it.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Good stuff. Look forward to season 3 and hopefully 2021. Probably 2022.
Probably 2025.
Yeah. All right, so that's it for what we watched this week. Let's get to the news, huh? We all know Ryan Murphy, of course, the creator of such shows as Hollywood and Ratchet, former episodes of the podcast.
TV Tuner's Greatest Ally.
That's right. As well as, of course, American Horror Story and American Crime Story, or if you're Stairmaster, OJ Crime Story. But Ryan Murphy's deal with Netflix has allowed him to make sort of any show he could possibly want, which leads to this sort of perfect connection of two people. Yes. Ryan Murphy is now creating a show based on, well, not based on, it's about Jeffrey Dahmer.
What?
Oh, man. Is this the best possible serial killer he could do?
For him, I feel like it's the best mixture of, like, things, yeah.
Not Son of Sam?
No, because Son of Sam wasn't gay, right?
Yeah, but imagine a Ryan Murphy show where they all got the terrible 70s mustaches.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. I think Murphy usually likes to mix in, like, LGBTQ plus characters in his show, and then, like, treat them horribly.
I wonder why.
Yeah. Huh. Titled Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story.
Nothing to do with the popular anime/manga Monster.
Yeah.
Also featuring a lot of Western music.
And also about a serial killer, isn't it?
It's about a guy who does murders.
All right, close enough.
It's like an evil wonder psychic child.
The series is going to track the many instances in which Dahmer, who of course, killed like 15 people and mutilated them and ate them and all that jazz, was arrested or otherwise investigated and then let go by authorities. And I think Murphy might just have an idea on why that was. I don't know what it could be, but I feel like he does. He's got an idea there.
Interesting.
Anyway, yeah, the series is going to be developed along with him and his Ratchet co-creator Ian Brennan. So it's already a good sign there.
You know what I would love to see? Ryan Murphy doing a show on that book Chaos about how Charles Manson was a CIA asset.
Oh, yeah.
Why would you want this exactly?
Yeah. That'd be like the perfect storm of Ryan Murphy stuff.
Yeah, something like very popular that was in like that's been in the culture for years. And also and also something that he can do like really ridiculous stuff in the context of. Honestly, the Dahmer thing, when you think about it, isn't even as ridiculous as what happens in like the episodes of Ratchet and Hollywood we watched. Well, maybe not Hollywood, but
Hollywood was just only thing I remember of it is that it was just kind of bizarre.
Yeah, there was a lot of. All I remember is there was a lot of Dylan McDermott being like, "Hey, you're gonna have sex, kid.
Get ready, pound some pussy.
And you're gonna give me 20%.
Hey, you're telling me this black man suck a penis? Hey, whoa, that's a new market. Great job, kid. I think this homosexuality thing's gonna really take off."
Just the visual image of Dylan McDermott in his like sailor outfit or whatever he had on is like, "Listen, kid, I can't have sex with this man right now. You got to do it."
Yeah.
Look at me. I'm down. I'm all soft. I can't get any blood down there.
Also, his name was Ernie.
Captain Ernie of the SS gas station.
But yeah, it's hard to see what exactly Murphy's going to be doing here with Dahmer, but presumably it'll be about, like, you know,
eating people
and stuff. Anyway, this is now one of 10 projects that have been greenlit by Netflix with Ryan Murphy involved.
Does that guy sleep?
They're really best buddies.
Yeah.
I'm assuming these shows are just filming in lots right next to each other so he can run down the street and, you know.
I just hope they have a scene where Dahmer, like, murders somebody, but before he kills them, he explains his exact rationale for killing them.
When I murder people and eat them, my penis gets really hard.
Yeah, I want like a scene where he explains to the victim like his rationale that like he grew up in like a very
Have you ever been horny?
But for the wrong people. Have you ever been horny but for people who told you it wasn't okay to be horny for? That's my story.
That's why I'm killing you.
And then like you hear the sound of him getting hard.
Yeah.
Sound?
Yeah, you know.
Like a boing.
Yeah, you know, classic. Yeah.
That's slide whistle.
There's a slide whistle.
Yeah, the slide whistles at the same time you see the blood splatter.
Just like an interesting choice. Every time he goes to kill a victim, you hear a slide whistle. What could it mean? Anyway, speaking of Netflix, they've been getting into some not some trouble, I guess. They've been having to make some changes to their schedule, as it were.
Oh.
According to various publications, Netflix has decided to cancel plans for a fourth and final season of Glow. That's the gorgeous ladies of wrestling TV adaptation based on the 80s property.
Oh, I was thinking of that other thing. Glitter?
I don't know what that is.
That show about the kids dancing or they're in the music club or whatever the hell. Gil, do you have any idea what I'm thinking of?
I've heard of it, and I know I have a very clear recollection of something called Glitter and thinking that it was definitely lame.
Well, it is lame. Dancing is lame. You shouldn't make your TV show about people dancing.
Yeah,
in any
true.
circumstance.
Unless they're dancing and also fighting.
Oh, in that case, yeah. All for it. Glow was an adaptation set in the upstart wrestling company in the 80s, which was a really good show for 2 seasons, and the third one was
Well, then it's good. It's died.
I mean, I would have liked to see it end.
Too bad.
So they canceled the 4th and final season due to various ongoing setbacks related to everyone's favorite 2020 pandemic, COVID-19.
Yeah, wrestling is now legal.
That's right, unless you're in Florida, apparently. They because the pandemic is still ongoing and has no plans of stopping anytime soon.
Yeah, we've asked.
Yeah. Making another season of the show, which is shot entirely in Los Angeles, and also has a pretty large cast. Almost impossible. The new season wouldn't air until at the earliest 2022.
Yeah, no one would remember what it was by then.
I guess the main reasoning behind this, according to Netflix, is that they have to like contracts and stuff, and they just don't have the time to work that kind of stuff out. So yeah, the show got canceled. That's along with a couple other things that have been canceled by Netflix so far, and other services. We talked about Stumptown getting canceled after being renewed. The same thing happened with a Showtime series. A couple other things by Netflix have been canceled.
Wouldn't it have been funny if someone just announced a Firefly continuation or reboot, right before the pandemic started, and that killed the production of it?
Yeah, that.
I would smile and laugh.
I guess my main thing with this has less to do with Glow itself, which I am bummed that it's not going to get its ending, but also it seems to further address a problem for me with Netflix, which is that there's so much content that Netflix creates that at this point, to them, it doesn't matter what's not there and what is there. They have reached sort of a point where it's not about any of the individual shows. It is about the content that is being made for the brand.
Yeah.
Think about it this way.
It's sort of like how MMA became boring once the fighters could not be bigger than the UFC brand.
Yeah, or the WWE. Yeah.
It's almost like capitalism isn't even good at managing art.
Yeah. Also, keep this in mind. I think it's no surprise. We've talked about this a couple times. Netflix is by and large the the thing that keeps us going. They make so much content that in a given, let's see, let's make it to just from episode 100 until now, we have done 3 episodes have been Netflix shows. So that's roughly a little under 1/3 of what we've watched since episode 100.
Since the Denvering.
Has been
the
Netflix.
Denvering.
Yeah, since the Denvering. have been Netflix shows. They create so much content. All in all, we watched 34 Netflix programs.
Wow.
That is triple some of the networks we've covered.
Yeah, we should see about
so
moving to...
So are you saying it's a good thing or a bad thing?
I'm saying it's a bad thing.
We should move to Netflix City.
Well, we would have to become digital beings to do that.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready for that.
It's incredibly painful.
Well, pain's going to be a real common occurrence for both of you guys in the near future, so
Uh-oh.
It's going to be fine.
My main point with all of this mainly is that, I think Netflix has really shown its ass here with this kind of stuff, which is that, at the end of the day, they're in service of an algorithm which has not even been proven to be super successful.
Yeah, I don't like how we're having all of our societal decisions be decided by algorithms.
Yeah,
not only algorithms, but really opaque ones.
Yes, these algorithms are ones that are sort out people and be they would obviously want to watch this show about true crime, and so they make 15 true crime shows.
The maximum number of black actors we can permit on a show of this genre is 7.5.
Yeah, Yes, exactly.
I'm imagining like they take that literally, and then they have like a black guy with like half a body, and he's in a wheelchair.
They don't even deal with like a guy who's half black.
Or they have a scene of a black guy getting cut in half.
Oh yeah, there you go.
No, but then he was
a
full man in part of the show, so that would bring the count too high.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and this isn't like new stuff. We've been talking about it. Netflix has that whole algorithm thing where 2 or 3 seasons is the max because people stop watching after a little bit. And what that algorithm is telling you is that, like, obviously not all of your shows are going to hook every single person. Like, of course each season has a little less people watching because they're not caught up yet. Like, it's mind-boggling to me, but hey, I guess that's the Netflix model.
Oh, they're richer than us, so they're obviously smarter.
I guess so. I mean, you can look at other streaming services and see, like Amazon, for example, is one that, like, at least prides itself on having, like, a fewer number of shows, but ones that are way better produced.
What's going on with Amazon doing TV and entertainment anyway?
Well, Amazon's trying to take over every facet of our lives.
Yeah.
I feel like that's bad.
Listen, there's no good war. That's the thing with the streaming war here. There's no like any war. There's no real good side.
It's just like Mobile Suit Gundam.
Yeah,
and we're Australia about to be hit by the colony.
Yeah.
Well, I think there is a good side, and I think it is possible to find ethical consumption under capitalism as well.
Oh, interesting.
Ooh, interesting. Okay. What is the good side, Quibi?
Yeah, it actually is.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, let's move on to Netflix, to a show that isn't divisive at all. Saturday Night Live.
It's not divisive because nobody watches it.
Well, yeah, you have to have people who care and pay attention. But hey, Jim Carrey sure did sound a lot like Joe Biden. So, Saturday Night Live recently returned with a studio audience for the first time since March 7th this past weekend.
Oh, that sounds unethical and highly dangerous.
Yeah, I guess they said it was due to New York guidelines. Although those guidelines dictate that only paid staff are permitted to make up an audience. So, in order to sort of make sure that they can get the most possible polite claps for Jim Carrey's meandering performance, Lorne Michaels took it upon himself to cast audience members. It turns out if you were one of the dozen audience members who were in attendance for this Saturday Night Live taping, you were paid $150 for your time.
Oh no!
Really putting money to the mouth of people who said you literally couldn't pay me to watch this.
Wow, those people should have asked for more. This is why we need unions.
$10,000. That's my price.
Yes. Yeah. That's like, 4 hours of your life you're not getting back to watch a TV show be filmed?
It's true, because you also have to watch the stage, like the rehearsal.
And you have to watch the guy tune the violin.
Yeah. You also have to listen. You also have to watch the guy get ready to say, "And musical guest."
And musical guest.
Yeah, $10,000. That's my lower bound on that.
The audience members apparently were able to obtain their tickets via a site called 1iota, which offers free tickets to various tapings and special events.
Yes. But there's a website we think you should go to instead, and that's mybookie.com. Winning season is here, Swanson, and you know what that means.
Are we doing like, what do they call that? Immersive advertising or something?
I don't know, but I know winning season means doubling your first deposit. I think that immersive advertisement is very good, and I do think that our listeners should begin to gamble as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
There's not much time left on this earth, so maybe you should try Survivor Super Contest or Squares.
Oh, okay.
This might be the last NFL season, so celebrate it at mybookie.com.
Yeah, I think the odds are a little low that it's the last NFL season because regardless of what's going on, people want their football.
It's true.
Oh, they might settle for a different sport, depending on the geopolitical context.
Well, you don't have to worry about that, because all you have to do is sign up now and make your first deposit, and you get a $1-for-$1 match, all the way up to $1,000.
Yeah, so that's like you just make $2,000. Easy.
And I'm sure if we had, like, Coliseum matches, we could bet on those on MyBookie.
That also might be coming back very soon.
And you could grab yourself a free entry into the famed MyBookie Super Contest.
To play, and all you have to do is pick 5 NFL games against the spread, and you'll have a chance at $100,000 guaranteed in cash prizes.
Wow, that sounds good. The best
as
part,
long as the US dollar has value, yeah.
Yeah, the best part for me is that MyBookie has thousands of bets, because not only do you have the full NFL slate or the NBA playoffs, you can get live betting and championship futures. Every play you want to make is waiting.
Is betting on the outcome of the presidential election a championship future?
In the sense that, like, there's a potential for a future, I guess, yeah.
Oh, I don't think there's any of that.
Ooh.
But I know what there are. Big
What's
winnings at mybookie.com.
Yeah.
Use the promo code TVTuners and you can double your first deposit. It's a no-brainer.
Your winning season could begin today, only at MyBookie. Anyway, in short, SNL sucks.
Yes. You can't see him, but Swanson's face just did this abrupt switch.
Not only did they have to pay their audience members to meet guidelines with New York, they also had to cancel their musical guest for their second episode because he was seen partying without a mask on.
The old GOP.
So
partying method.
They had to get rid of their musical guest, which is, I love the.
What? What's the narrator supposed to do then?
Well, I guess they replaced them with
No
Jack White,
one's
apparently.
Here.
Musical guest, no one.
I will be doing an opera. Whoa.
Yeah, that's what opera sounds like.
Well, that's what it sounds like when Daryl Hammond does it. That's the guy who does the voice now, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we're just getting started, Keo. Trust me, that thing was going to be a whole arc of musical notes.
Oh, no. Just imagine the podcast turns into Stare performing like a full opera.
Yeah, no one would be listening next week.
Yeah. So, that's it for the news. Let's go ahead and move on to a segment near and dear to everybody's hearts. It's Guess Who's Coming!
Ba-da-da, ba-da-da.
Wow, I didn't even have to ask someone to hit the theme.
How are you going to do this without me? What was the plan?
You get
That's a good question. I was just going to ask Stare to describe something, and then we were probably going to give up after one or two of these.
Yeah, you kind of really saved our hides here.
But hey, you're here now, so we can do a full one of these. It's weird. Honestly, there's a lot more coming to the broadcast network side than there is to the streaming network side this year or month.
What is time, anyways?
Yeah, I truly have forgotten time in my years
in 2020.
My years of being in pandemic mode.
It's been 10 years now.
Yeah, we got the COVID brain fog. It's not great.
So, for newcomers to this podcast, this is a game show here of sorts where I give my co-host Kyoran and Stairmaster shows that are coming in the month of October, and they give them the title and they guess what the show is about. And then the winner gets a prize.
Ooh. I like prize. So it's like the MyBookie Super Contest.
That's right. Now, let's start with NBC and their show, Connecting.
Ooh.
Oh, now, I'll note something here. Connecting has an ellipses afterwards.
Okay.
So I think this is going to be like some kind of computer-related program.
Okay.
Like maybe there's like a guy and he's got like a laptop and he takes it.
Hold on, what's the size of this guy?
He's like he's kind of like a not that big, kind of short, a low key individual. He's got a laptop.
Oh, he's not very important.
He's low key, but he's not low key.
Yeah. So he takes it to a Starbucks, and he downloads a person.
Whoa! And that person is his future wife. That's the connecting.
Yeah.
The connection. Marriage.
Oh, you're agreeing with that, okay.
I agree.
Well, we all knew.
Keo or Stare, what do you got?
I think this is about a guy who meets a woman at an airport, and the connecting refers to their connecting flights.
Ooh.
Oh.
Or maybe it's about just being at an airport and the connections people make there.
Huh, interesting. Bold to assume airports still exist.
It seems just tone deaf enough for network television. Wait, what is this for?
This is for NBC.
Yes.
So that does sound right. Yeah, I guess presumably the show would have to have been made sometime before the pandemic. An ensemble comedy about a group of friends trying to stay close and sane through video chats as they share the highs and lows of these extraordinary times. That's right, folks. It's the first socially distanced sitcom.
I thought we had one of those called Coastal Elites. Another
that ended up being like a special, I think.
Oh,
so not really a recurring series.
Oh, okay.
So this is technically the first attempt. It's also the first attempt by like a full-on broadcast network to be like, here's some socially distanced comedians doing jokes.
So that's gonna age like
a fine cheese.
Arby's food when you're letting it cool down after 30
better.
seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think I get the point because I had computers in my...
Yes, that is true.
Yeah,
this is sort of like downloading a person.
A computer is close to a person after enough time. On a long enough timeline.
People can appear on your computer.
Not downloading a person.
Like, if you think about it, we're people on someone else's computer right now.
Oh.
Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep.
Dang.
Yeah, if they listen to me for 5 more minutes, they will be under my hypnotic control, so it's pretty cool.
Well, let's take a 5-minute smoke break.
This next one is from AMC. It's called Soulmates.
I think this one's probably like a romance. You have an idea, Stair?
I think this is about some people trying to do soul music in the 70s, and then they fall in love.
Damn. Yeah.
All right. So you think this is musical, Stair?
I think this is a period piece. A period romance.
Huh. I'm pretty sure this is just like some kind of romance thing where it like 2 people are like hanging out
gay for each other.
They're hanging out, but there's some kind of like
kicking it gay style.
Yeah, but there's some kind of turmoil that happens because I don't think there's
the straights.
I don't think there's any happy programs on AMC as far as I know.
One of them gets run over by a train.
Yeah,
a transcontinental train.
Yeah, like they're trying to get to each other, but like there's a train on the tracks and they're impatient, so they run on the tracks.
Oh,
like they're on opposite sides of the train tracks, and the train's coming, and they're like, "We need to embrace right now." So one of them runs on the tracks and gets hit by the train. It's really sad.
And in the caboose is the prospector or whoever from Hell on Wheels, and he just like zounds. I don't know. I've never seen Hell's on Wheels. I assume there's a prospector.
Hell on Wheels. That's a favorite of yours, isn't it, Keo?
Oh yeah, definitely. Whatever that is.
It's a show about building the transcontinental railway.
I'm
Everyone's
surprised
cold and pissed off.
Stare hasn't watched that show, given how many trains are probably in it.
I assume they're just spending half the episode being racist to the Chinese, and I don't want to see that.
Yeah, that'd be pretty upsetting.
Yeah, true. All right. This set 15 years into the future, when science has made a discovery that changes the lives of everyone on the planet. A test that unequivocally tells you who your soulmate is.
Oh, so it's like the first episode of Weird City, directed by Jordan Peele.
Yep.
Previous TV tune-in episode.
Each of the 6 episodes will feature a different cast and explore an entirely new story around discovering and the results of this new test and the impact those have on a myriad of relationships.
Okay,
so,
I get the point because mine was about romance.
Mine was about a period piece, and this sounds like it's in a different time period.
That's not a period piece.
The present.
That's not a period.
Yeah, it's a period. It's a future.
That's not what a period piece means.
Fucker.
I don't think people refer to future set stories as a period piece.
We should.
Why?
Mobile Suit Gundam is my favorite historical drama.
Kyo gets the point.
Fuck you, you little man.
Wow, Kyo, you came
Pepsi
back.
Brother.
You came back. You're 2-0 right now against Stairmaster.
Yeah, this was supposed to be my game.
Really,
I was supposed to get 5-0.
From pillar to post, you're just sort of destroying this lad.
Yeah, I got a knife here too. Wonder what I'm going to do with it.
What?
So let's move on to this Showtime series, The Good Lord Bird.
Huh.
Okay, so it's a show about Robert Byrd.
Okay.
What did he do?
That's a pretty bold gambit.
Robert Byrd. Was he the racist
So you
guy?
said a name, but you didn't remember what he did?
Senator Robert Byrd. I kind of remembered.
Okay.
This guy was probably bad. I can't remember what he did. Oh, he did the filibuster of the Civil Rights Act in 1964.
Oh, yeah. That's not that. That can't be good.
Not cool.
Not cool, Bird. Not cool.
Hey, that's not cool.
So the only thing that comes to my mind is that isn't like the Holy Spirit from the Trinity depicted as like a bird?
Yeah,
oh,
I
you
think
mean the
sometimes.
Phoenix?
Yeah, the Phoenix. So the Good Lord Bird is about this man. It's definitely a man. He's got the Holy Spirit in him. And,
Does he get superpowers?
yeah, he gets superpowers, but the problem is he's actually not the best guy. So there's the influence of the Spirit of the Lord, however it works. I don't even understand the concept. And he's grappling with that, and also his drug addiction, and and his great interest in committing crimes and doing terrible things, but also helping people because of the. I don't know. Just stop. That's my answer.
Okay. All right.
Leave him alone, Swanson.
Swanson's looking at me. He's giving me this really disappointed look.
Well, yeah, you'll see why. The Good Lord Bird is told from the point of view of Onion, a fictional enslaved boy who is part of John Brown's motley crew of abolitionist soldiers during the time of Bleeding Kansas, eventually participating in the famous 1859 raid on the Army Depot at Harper's Ferry. Brown's raid failed to initiate the slave revolt he intended, but was the instigating event that started the Civil War.
So, Swanson, was your goal here originally to just kind of torture Stairmaster with this one?
Yeah, that was where I was going to end it, probably.
Hey, it's a historical piece.
So let's get to this. I don't know who won that one.
I did.
What was Stair's premise again?
Mine was about Senator Robert Byrd, noted racist guy, and it says a show about fighting racism.
I mean, I can't.
Like, yes, it was about angelic possession.
I can't really argue for mine at all.
I guess it's true. Stair, you get the point. Congrats.
Woohoo!
All right. This will either be the deciding point or the tying one of the game. This is Netflix To the Lake.
Okay, so there's these two attractive mid-20-something-year-olds, and they fall in love by a lake. Maybe there's a lake house involved, but they can't call it that for obvious reasons.
Right, yeah.
So, when I think of a lake, I think of just
yes,
Arthurian legend again, but they already did a show about that. So, Yeah, I think to the lake. So there's a lake. Definitely, there's a lake involved, and
definitely, there's a lake.
And I think like somebody goes into the lake looking for the Loch Ness monster.
Yes.
And find something much worse.
Ooh, okay.
Cthulhu.
A man.
Nyarlathotep.
What's the size?
Very big.
I know what Swans is trying to do.
What am I trying to do here? It's a genuine question.
I don't know why Swanson would want Kia to say that. I think it would be very boring to find a tiny man. That'd not be scary.
I don't know. I think I would be terrified if I saw a tiny man in a lake.
So it's a little man.
Why?
And his goal here is to drag you down to the bottom of the lake. He's
little.
Who knows what secrets the tiny man holds?
Yeah, he's a little man, but he's got big ambitions.
Hands. Oh. Well, I'd be very scared if a giant man came out of a lake and pulled me under.
Look, that'd be really scary. But either way, though, something bad happens in this lake is my guess.
Nothing. Usually, when like a little man shows up in a show, it doesn't end well.
Or he tells you a story about trains.
Yeah.
That have some attitude problems.
Facing the end of civilization when a terrifying plague strikes, a group risks their lives and humanity in a brutal struggle to survive.
Oh.
Okay.
Kind of vague.
There might be love. I get the point.
I mean, I
guess a plague is like a little man, though.
I kind of painted a pretty bleak picture of, like, something bad happening. Stair was, putting like a positive story forward. I think I get the point because mine was more bleak.
This show does appear to be Russian, and that is kind of bleak.
Yeah, they never fall in love in Russia.
No.
Or they try to, but they don't do a good job at it.
So I think I'm going to give this point to Kyo.
Yes!
Fuck.
So, congrats, Kyo. You've won on your return visit.
Wow.
What's the price?
Yeah, here you go. This is a gateway to hell. It was going to be like more tempting when it was Stairmaster, but kind of already.
Well, I do want to meet some demon chicks.
Oh, Stair.
Yeah, some succubi.
Stair.
Even if they're
evil,
sex organs are thousands of degrees hot.
Look, Stair, they are, literally and figuratively extremely hot.
Yeah.
Damn.
And that was the thing I wasn't going to mention until you got like in there, Stair, but it is sort of like a gateway to a sort of like speed dating
hell
area game of hell,
where I have to solve puzzles in order to meet women.
That's right. That's how speed dating works. Yeah. All right. Well, that's been Guess Who's Coming. Let's head into our main event this week, huh? We watched a show. Well, two of us did. And now we're going to talk about it, and one of us is going to be confused.
Well, you guys are going to have to explain it to me really well so I can understand.
Well, Swanson's going to have to explain it to you very well.
I think that this will really boost your ability to perform an adequate recap because you'll actually have somebody live not understanding what you're talking about. You have to elaborate.
Ooh,
it's a TV Tuners second.
This sounds great and not at all anxiety-inducing for me. Gangs of London is set in the heart of London, one of the world's most dynamic and multicultural cities. It tells the story of the city being torn apart by the turbulent power structures of the international gangs that control it, in the sudden power vacuum that's created when the head of London's most powerful crime family is assassinated. So, let's get into this. First things first here. Gangs of London, created and directed, at least for this first episode, by Gareth Evans, best known for The Raid.
Yes.
One of the seminal action movies of the past 20 years.
Yes, TV Tuners movie of the year.
That's right. For
2020. Every year.
Okay, yeah. Another thing that I want to mention before we get into the full-on overview here of what happened in this episode. Do you think 90 minutes was too long?
That is strange.
That is always too long for an episode of TV.
That would make more sense for a season finale
than this sort of premiere. Yeah,
I guess there are a lot of plates in the air that he needed to throw.
That's fair. There's a big cast here, but I'm still
Fargo 4.
Yeah. For Keo here, I'll explain that there's a whole like list of crime families in this that are not families, just crime like syndicates,
like Germans, Russians.
Yeah. There's like
Albanians.
Yeah, Pakistanis. There's
all your favorite ethnicities.
There's some Welsh dudes who get up to some real gross shit.
And what do they sound like, Swanson?
They say, "Oi, where's the child?"
I don't think that's what Welsh accents sound
like. Oi,
like.
where's my kid?
So they sound like Billy Butcher from The Boys?
Fucking diabolical.
A real Backstreet Boys, these lot.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not gonna spoil the ending right away, Keo, but there is a butcher of sorts.
So I'm assuming that's to do with knife stuff, because there's limited guns in London.
Maybe a cleaver.
Oh.
Yeah. So we start off when we get introduced to a man who will come to be known as Sean Wallace, who is the heir to a criminal empire, and also is seen here burning a man alive.
Yes.
Yikes.
Burning it alive while hanging from the top of a rooftop by rope.
Yeah, the man is hanging upside down by 1 foot, and is sort of like pleading, saying he had nothing to do with this. And guy's like, "Oh, sorry, Mum, gotta kill you."
And pours gasoline on him.
Yeah.
So he knows extra hard he's gonna die.
And then he lights the fire on the guy, and the fire, he gets lit on fire. And
yeah, he burns and he falls.
Yeah.
And then we cut to 1 week earlier, so it's like a Chernobyl situation.
Yes. So we cut back to 1 week earlier. We get these two Welsh boys. This one gets a mysterious text, and he's like, "Oi, we go into the place to do the thing." And he's like, "Yes."
Well, we could buy 5 old sheep.
They're looking to.
Sorry.
Well,
I will never talk again.
Do we get it right here that they're looking to get drug money, or do we get that later? That was what their whole thing was, right?
I might have missed a few things because of the accents.
So what percentage of activity involves just wanting the money?
Actually,
most
very
of human
little.
Society. Oh, you mean the show, not...
In the show.
Very
not
little,
that
surprisingly.
In the real world, a lot.
And it's mostly about revenge in this one. Because you see, Keo, these two people who... I mean, I might be thinking about the wrong thing here. I'm pretty sure they were looking to get, like, drug money or something. But I can't... I'm not sure, honestly.
Maybe the money was also for revenge.
Yeah.
Maybe it's going to be an Ouroboros of revenge. And, like, next week it's going to be about these boys getting into some Trailer Park Boys shenanigans. And that's why they need revenge money to get back at someone.
Well, spoilers for Keo. One of these boys is definitely not sticking around.
Oh, no.
So these two boys, they get they go to get this money, and I guess it's like they're doing a job or something. I'm really I guess like we're not supposed to really know what they're up to.
That does remind me of Wolf Warrior. Scott Adkins at the end is all like, "I do it for the money."
That's kind of what these guys do.
When he's bullying the protagonist for being patriotic to his country.
We see this guy go into this guy's apartment. He gets the key from... He knows where the key is, so I guess this isn't like a routine drug thing.
It's an inside job.
Yeah. So then we see this dude pull up after our guy inside the car, who's going to be like our getaway boy, gets accosted by a roving gang of car thugs. It's weird.
Edwards just... For his next outing, just wanted to go to a country even worse than Indonesia. So he picked London.
Well, this is in Albania, I think.
No, I think it's just Little Albania.
Oh,
That's why they meant. You think this British guy just drove all the way to Albania?
Hey, I don't know.
What the fuck? Oh, you gotta go across the channel and then 500 miles of the continent to
Listen, I don't know how these people travel.
Yeah, the British are notoriously magic.
Look, with how little I understand about Britain and how little you guys understand about it, I have I'm getting very confused here. So, how many groups of people have been introduced so far?
Just these Welsh boys and that guy who set the dude on fire, Sean Wallace.
And then the chavs harass him, but they run off because another car pulls up.
Oh yeah, these chavs are in the grand scheme of things, Kyorain, unimportant. They show up just to be like accosting this man. Oi, you in our parking spot? Oi. Oi!
That's what
Hey, you be a lad.
That's what chavs are in general, though. They're just like a group of guys who are just like a nuisance, basically.
Yes.
Yeah, and they get run off by the appearance of the actual potential threat, which is leader of a criminal organization, as we learn later, Finn Wallace. He shows up with this big burly driver dude. And he goes inside to his house. The driver dude taps on the guy's window when he notices there's a car sitting there.
And he kind of shoots the shit and makes fun of him.
Yeah. So
I don't think he realizes how dangerous he is.
No. So inside the house, the guy goes to get his key, notices it's not there. Inside the house, the murderer boy sees him through the eye hole and then shoots him through the little eye hole of the door.
Yeah, he gets fucking owned. He's blasted in the neck, falls over.
Not dead, though, so he has to shoot him again.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a grapple.
And then he takes the bag of money that the guy had
and runs off. I did it for the money!
Meanwhile, out in the street, the driver hears the gunshots and goes to get his gun and goes to see what the hubbub is and gets immediately blasted by the car. That this
the car has a gun of its own.
That's right. The guy hits him with his car and knocks him into a bunch of a dumpster and he's out. So the assassin boy comes in. Yeah, assassin boy runs in, gets out of there. And that's where we see those guys. And Finn Wallace, the leader of this huge crime organization, as we learn, is dead.
Why?
Then we cut to Sean Wallace reading a nursery rhyme to some second graders when his aide walks in and whispered to him the news.
In reality, what we get for the next 30 minutes here, Kyorain, is sort of a gathering of a bunch of glowering characters.
It's like the gathering of the Juggalos, except instead of Juggalos, it's mafia people from various ethnicities.
So I'm picturing they look like very serious, glum people that just come and sit down at a table.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly
there
what
is
happens.
A very big table.
They sit at a table and talk about how their individual organizations are being halted because of this, and they're mad about it.
Wallace has access to the docks while they have the product moving in.
Yeah.
So he's the kingpin of the world,
including one group of people who are clearly trafficking humans.
Yes, but the son is we're closing business until I find out who did it.
Yeah, and he has these other people who are working for him. Who Ed Dumani and his son Alex, who are the sort of conscience, the voice of reason to him, because he's
it's
he's
Ed
out
Wallace
for revenge.
So they're all going to die.
Yes, Ed Wallace was an Irishman who partnered up with this unmentioned African nation descendant guy.
Finn Wallace. Ed Dumani is the guy he partnered up.
Ed Dumani, yes. And that's how they formed a criminal gang together.
Yeah. They were both immigrants, so they hung out and made a play and ended up controlling a lot of organized crime in London.
He describes them as the bastard sons of the British Empire.
Yeah. So we get introduced to Ed and Alex, and they're sort of starting negotiations with these groups and being listen, everything will start running smoothly again. Mm-hmm. And then Sean comes in there and he's like, no. Sorry, Mum. No. My father died.
Yeah, he turns to the one woman boss and says that.
Yeah. He's like, no one continues their business until we find who killed my dad. And they're all like, this is an outrage. And he's like, whatever, I don't give a shit.
That's not very businesslike.
No, one thing we learn about this Sean character is that he's not really... he's kind of amateur hour when it comes to running a criminal empire.
And he seems to have like a bone to pick, something to prove.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not going to turn out very good for him.
Probably not. Usually doesn't. Especially because we don't get any cool fight scenes with this guy. So who knows what he's even capable of. No, most of our cool fight scenes go with our secret protagonist. Because you thought it was Sean Wallace, didn't you, Keo? You thought he was the protag. No. Our actual protagonist is a man known as Elliot Finch, who we get introduced to as he's picking out money from a drainage ditch.
Yeah, working class. You love to see it.
Yeah. You see, he's a low-level employee of the Wallaces.
He's the money farmer.
What a guy.
So we get introduced to him during the funeral for Finn Wallace. Where,
this funeral also goes on for like 30 minutes.
Yeah. Where we see him briefly pick up one of the flowers that falls off the hearse.
Okay, so that's an hour you just described. People sitting at a table and being like, I'm not happy with the business going on. And then an hour where they're like, I'm sad about this person being dead. Some of us are responsible for it and happy about the death happening.
But I'm not.
We're being... There's only a slight exaggeration because it is like 40 to 45 minutes before we get to like the first action scene.
It's like a subplot of like this wake going on for all the low-level dudes at this bar.
Yeah. One of whom is played by the guy who played the janitor and or the groundskeeper maybe in Harry Potter. Whatever his name was? Filch. Anyway,
he
plays Jim, who is this like the boss of this Elliot dude, and this Elliot guy, he also seems to have something to prove for reasons.
Yes, he almost gets into a fight with the Albanians after accusing them of being responsible.
Yes, you see, because the guy was murdered because Finn was murdered in Albania, Kyoran.
In Little Albania.
I
don't think this was the country, Albania.
All they said was Albania.
Can you imagine people in San Francisco just called it China?
Yeah, exactly. They don't call. They never call it Little Albania. They just call it Albania.
They're going to Albania. It's just not being conveyed very, very well.
Is there a part? Do they call it Jamaica in New York?
Maybe they do. So, all these gangs are paying their condolences. Meanwhile, at this bar where all the gangs hang out, or the underlings where it hang out, these Albanian guys come in, and this Elliot dude is starting to pick a fight with them, and even like throws a glass at one of them.
I think, and there's a scene of him like waiting to see if they're going to follow him out,
and they don't. He's just like, fuck. But what we learn is that Sean suspects the Albanians of killing his father, which leads to some tension when they show up at the funeral, and then also abruptly leave while he's giving his like eulogy.
That's never a good sign if like a bunch of people leave your funeral, especially if you're a mob boss.
Yeah, I'd be worried.
I thought that microphone was going to explode when they left.
There's also there's some subplots with like the rest of the Wallace family, but honestly, they're unimportant to this what transpires here.
They're lame.
Yeah, there's like a daughter who doesn't want to be associated with the family, and like a son who's a weirdo.
A weirdo. Expand on that.
That's pretty much
classic type of character.
We get introduced to him like listening to Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Oh,
what's that?
It's a band from the 60s, so no respecting kid who's like 20 should be listening to it, really.
It's the one that did that.
It's in all of the war movies ever made.
Oh, no.
Anyway.
I thought you were going to say he was into anime, but that's like really weird.
Yeah, he should be listening to like the OST for like Bleach.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be the cool kid.
Yeah. So yeah, we get this whole thing here with we focus on Elliot for a lot because secret main character. we get him going in, and Alex, who is Ed's son, who works with Sean Wallace, finds out the CCTV footage from the night that Finn is murdered, and they see the Albanians taking someone and putting him in a car and driving off.
And they figure out that's the driver.
Yeah, Jack is his name. So Elliot sort of just strong arms his way into this meeting with Sean's or Alex's people, and he's just like, yeah, I know that car. That's the Albanians' car. And they're like, huh, all right. Well, hey, listen, you take these guys and go deal with it. So these guys don't want to deal with it in the way that Alex wants, which is to just have a talk about it. They want to wreck shit. Because their boss died. So,
and they immediately get their asses kicked.
Yeah, and the guys, as they're going there, Elliot's like, hey, what about what the boss said? The dude punches them in the stomach. He's like, I know what an Albanian looks like. And we're on Zen. And then you immediately hear fighting. And Elliot gets up and is like, ugh. And then we get a pretty kick-ass action scene.
Yeah, you love to see it. The camera here is very shaky, but it's not like you can. It's more like an earthquake type. It's like shaky cam done right, like shaky cam in Jurassic Park or Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
Than the Bourne Identity. You can see what the choreography is.
Yeah, there's a lot of this feel. It feels sort of
These blows are heavy.
Yeah, it feels like a Daredevil fight scene, from the good seasons.
People getting thrown through tables, yeah. Stabbed with darts.
Elliot fights off 6 or 8 people with a dart gun. A dart.
Not with a dart gun.
Yeah, it would be cooler if it was a dart gun. But he only has a dart. Because, like you said, Keo, no guns.
Yeah, not even a mostly harmless gun.
Yeah.
Oh, he did pull out a blunderbuss and shoot someone at one point.
Wow.
So there's this pretty tense fight sequence between him and a bunch of these Albanian guys. He eventually catches up to the guy who was in the car.
Bosofovich?
Sure. Let's say that's his name. And he
we get a scene from Taken where he's chasing him and he falls off a bridge.
Yeah. And lands below with his a broken leg, and he has to go climb down and get him. So he takes him to where the Albanians are keeping this guy, Jack. And there's a lot of very tense moments here because he's holding a knife to this guy to make sure that his Albanian guys don't kill him. So the Albanian guys drive him while he's holding this guy hostage with a knife. And he goes into the Albanians' warehouse, I guess, where they're keeping this guy. This dude, Jack, is absolutely knackered, mate. He's not looking good because he was hit by a car.
And got no medical treatment, apparently.
Yes. So he goes to retrieve Jack, and then the boss of the Albanians coming from the funeral comes in and is like, listen.
He shoots Bosofovich.
Yeah, he's like, that dude was useless.
Why are they fighting again?
They're not fighting. He kills this guy because he was giving away information.
I mean, why'd the fight happen again?
Oh, because he thinks that the Albanian guy's trying to run away from him.
He's working for the Wallace family.
What? Yeah, Elliot is working for the Wallace family, and this Albanian guy is, I guess, holding the Wallace's driver captive for reasons.
Sketchy.
There's also a German gang that we get some scenes from.
Yeah, they're not super important, however. Meanwhile, we see the two people who actually assassinated Finn Wallace sort of hanging out and hiding.
They're in Little Skid Row.
Yeah. And we get a shot of who appears to be the man who assassinated Finn Wallace's father. His name is Kinney or something. And he's a group of Welsh.
He's made up of multiple Welshmen.
He's a group of Welshmen. And yeah, he's in some sort of Katamari Damacy sort of phase.
Oh. And they're chasing all the sheep.
Yeah. But we see him travel. They own this essentially what's a trailer park. And
they're a couple of trailer park boys.
Yeah. And he goes and beats the shit out of this guy. Drops a car on him. Pretty much. And it turns out it's the guy's brother. And he's like, listen, I need you to I need you to tell me where your brother is. I know he's with my son. We got to find them. They killed this guy. It's pretty important. And he's like, oh, I don't know where he is, man. I don't know where he is. And he's like, you're going to tell me or I'm going to kill you. And what I'm getting from this is that the Welsh are very brutal people.
You can't trust them.
Yeah. So yeah, eventually the Albanians let Elliot go with Jack, and he makes his way back to Sean, who is skeptical of Elliot's story. So he holds him at gunpoint, and Elliot's like, fuck this man.
He's a bloody liar, mate.
Yeah, he thinks he's a bloody liar. He's like, fuck you. I fucking did all of this for you, and you think I'm lying to you? Well, how about I tell you that Jack gave me some information. I'll give you that fucking shit.
They think he's working for someone else.
Yeah.
Because he could beat up a bunch of dudes with his bare hands.
Well, a dart as well. So, yeah, they don't believe him. And then he gives them the location of the license of number of a car, which is said to be the vehicle that had the people who murdered his dad. So he lets him go and he starts working directly for him now. We get a small scene here with Elliot and his dad, who seems to be a former boxer of some renown.
Who was also very crippled.
Yes, because, boxing. And that's mainly just to sort of establish character, set some stakes. So then he gets a phone call late at night, and he goes off to this sort of crime den. He goes on this sojourn to a drug den.
He goes to the crime house.
Yeah. And he goes through where all of these addicts are sort of just hanging out. We get a weird bit, well, not a weird bit. We get a nice bit here where we see in the car, one of the cars that drives past him while he's hiding, the Welsh people along with the son that they've been looking for, but not the other kid. Interesting. Wonder what happened to him. So Elliot digs into this drug den, goes looking. He finds these two guys who are sitting in this room with blood coming out of another room, so that's a great sign. And this butcher guy who's covered in blood and only wearing boxers.
The biggest man in all Britain.
Yeah, the biggest Welshman you'll ever see.
Like 8 to 9 feet tall?
He's like a can of meat.
He's like if you put 2 cans of meat together and then made them a human.
You gave him big beefy arms, and now he can beat people up very
How big are these cans to make a man out of?
Fairly.
Like human cans.
Oh my god.
He's like two meat humans.
He could kill me easily.
So yeah, this guy's completely nude, but he's he's wearing a Speedo.
That's not okay. You lied to me. That's not completely nude.
Well, yeah. Stairmaster's a bit of a liar.
Yes.
So yeah, we get this extremely brutal fight sequence here. He comes in, Elliot comes in with the gun. This butcher guy is not afraid at all. And he gets up close and tells him to back up so he can look in this room where he's been butchering. And sure enough, he's been butchering that kid.
Oh no.
Doesn't look good for him.
Yeah.
Because he's butchered.
I was wondering what happened to that kid. I guess he's dead.
Yeah, how do you want to describe that grisly scene, Stairmaster?
I don't wanna. It's big in blood.
Yeah, he's in a tub. And he's all chopped up.
He's all tubbed out?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a Chapo trap house in there.
What? I'm not playing with that.
Because he's Chapo. He's chopped. He's Chapoed up.
Anyway, so the big guy punches the gun and it goes off and blows his ear off, but he's very powerful nonetheless.
Yeah.
And overpowers him.
Doesn't he hit him with something to start the fight? He hits him with a bag of feathers.
No,
you tried to hit him with everything. It's not working.
Feathers are notoriously light, and they make poor weapons. So
yeah. So yeah, this fight is extremely brutal. This guy at one point gets tossed into the corner of a wall.
Yeah.
He
gets choked out at one point. He gets pulled around by his jacket he's trying to take off.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good fight choreography in this one.
Who's the butcher working for?
He's working for the Welsh.
Oh, yeah, those dangerous individuals. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
He was Welsh working for.
We don't know exactly. I guess to make sure that he was tasked specifically with chopping up this lad, essentially. Mm-hmm. I guess. So yeah, the lad's brother is also here with his broken leg and everything. And he's sort of just watching this fight unfold. And this brutal Welsh man is just crushing our dude Elliot, and then he brings out the cleaver, and things get intense. So a lot of this is like trying to make sure Elliot trying to make sure he doesn't immediately get cleaved in half. There's a bit here where he gets his head thrown into a window, and then in order to make sure he doesn't get the cleaver gets stuck in the wall. So in order to make sure he doesn't get thrown into it,
next to him, yeah, and the guy tries to slam his head down onto it,
and he has to hold on to
the broken window frame.
Yeah, and we get some shots of his hand going like through the glass.
Yeah,
it's pretty gnarly.
But he gets a good hold on the big guy and slams his head into the cleaver and slits his throat.
And that does it. Neku's dead.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. And he comes back, and the brother of the chopped up lad
grabs
shoots
the
himself.
gun and kills himself.
Yeah, before he can give any info. With all of that done, he seems pretty razzed, so he goes back to his car, but his car's not there. So he got
like crazy tinnitus sounds for the scene.
Yeah. And then he hears a honk, and we get the big twist of this episode. This dude's an undercover cop!
Wow, who could have imagined it?
That's the biggest twist of the century.
Yeah, who could have guessed that this dude who has like a real big sort of career goal here to join this crime
also
family.
Very good at punching people.
Yeah, and is also the protagonist. So yeah, what we learn is that he's an undercover cop who's been working. He's been undercover for like 2 years or something.
And his supervisor's like, "What are you doing? You can't punch people.
Yeah,
we have rules here."
He's like, they chopped up the lad. I had.
This is crazy! Look what you did.
And he mentions that in like the last day, he's managed to do more than he has in the 2 years that he's been undercover, and that like she does like stereotypical cop stuff where she's like, the captain's gonna pull the plug, and he's like, not yet, I'm not done.
I went from Z list to A list is what everyone's talking about me now. It's basically what he tells her,
pretty much. And she's just sort of like, oh, these crazy undercover cops, and he goes off. So we get the last bit here where how does this actually end?
Someone slits someone's wrist. I was kind of checked out at this point.
Oh, yeah. Ed Dumani kills Jack, the driver, because he doesn't have any valuable information, I guess. And that's kind of where we end. So, it's kind of a mixed bag of a show for me. I'm not sure how I feel.
It's cool fights, but this is very stretched out. There's a lot of
guys sitting around, it sounds like.
A lot of guys!
Yeah, there's a lot of guys sitting around, and like the only real characters in this are like Sean and Elliot, and even then they're not super fleshed out. Like, due to the twist, we don't really know what Elliot's motivations are until the end, and even then, still not sure.
Yeah.
I wanted to like this a lot more than I did because Gareth Evans is a good director, and the direction in this is good.
It's less of it's not as big a downer as Wu Assassins.
Yeah, that's very true.
He's an undercover dirty cop. Ooh.
Whoa, that'd be cool.
Yeah, double con.
And he partners up with Jeff Goldblum. Black, Hispanic, white, none of that matters. It's the 90s. There's only rich and poor. And we're rich.
Yeah, what are your final thoughts on this, Star?
Yeah, it's cool when he punches people. It's less cool when people are at a table.
Yeah, it's not even metaphorical punching when they're at a table. Like they couldn't punch. They can punch with their words, but they choose not to.
Oh, lame.
You ever punch with your words?
No, my words just bounce off.
Yeah, I told Stairmaster he smells bad. He doubled over in pain.
Fuck. That would be really awful if someone said you smelled and everyone agreed.
Ooh, yeah, like they all nodded their heads and like scooted away from you.
I guess this is a tune-in for me. If you're watching this, you're probably going to watch it because you want to see those fight scenes, and I guess there's going to be fight scenes.
Yeah, I mean,
unless there's suddenly not fight scenes next episode.
Presumably that's what they give you in this show is fight scenes.
So this is a documentary, right?
Yeah, this is about the gang wars in London that are currently ongoing.
Yeah, this was a real fight that happened.
Yeah. And they captured it on film, and it wasn't taken in by the police.
Okay.
Yeah, Kia, what were your thoughts on this show that you didn't watch?
It sounds like it goes between like really stuffy, boring scenes to exciting fight scenes that
that is true.
That are somewhat disconnected from what you saw before.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna give this a light tune in. The action scenes are fun.
And also, these people are British. That is kind of annoying.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say that makes it slightly more engaging because it's like watching like a foreign film.
Wow, it's like Downton Abbey.
Especially when the Welsh people show up, it's like watching a foreign film.
It's like watching a horror movie.
It's like watching Gummo.
Okay.
So
Sorta is.
So yeah, that's I guess that's a tune in on Gangs of London. Congratulations. I didn't mention it up top, but of course this is this is not a BBC show, but it is a Sky show, which is like the HBO of the British. Is that right?
I don't know.
Pay for it.
You're the TV guy.
The reason we were talking about it for this week's episode of the show is that it recently debuted on AMC Plus, AMC's a streaming add-on that you get on like Amazon and stuff.
I'm not going to tell people to get on AMC Plus just to see this. That's a tune out.
Oh, whoops.
London.
That changed everything, huh? All right, well, I'm still going to give it a slight tune in, I guess.
I don't know. Should we just assume everyone's watching this illegally?
Don't we normally?
Yeah, I guess that's a tune in then.
All right, well, that's a tune in on Gangs of London. And that's about it for this week's episode of the show. Mm-hmm. Keo, thanks for coming back. I know you have
without telling us.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
busy sort of time.
So I have a contract for you guys to sign.
What? The episode's almost over. We can't be signing contracts.
Look, if you don't sign the contract...
Plus, I left my pen at home.
Look.
Yeah, give it to us next week.
I'm not going to be here next week.
Why not?
I have to go back to hell for like a job thing.
Busy boy.
Nobody told you to get this job in hell, Kia. Why are you doing this to us?
Look, I needed crystal clean water and things kind of snowballed from there.
What? Oh, yeah.
I guess it's true.
But you didn't get the crystal clean water from hell. You found that before you died.
Well, I had to do the hell stuff to get back to Earth.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, that's a tune in on Gangs of London.
All right, well, I guess we're going to sign this contract and read nothing about it.
Yeah, don't read it. Just... Yeah, there you go. That's a good boy.
All right, well, that's my contract signed. I'll be back next week with more TV goodness. Until then, keep watching. Bye. It's over.
You will experience the tears of time.
Hey folks, it's time for the TV Tuners Denver Fact of the Week. Did you know there is a hell portal in Denver that's owned by Stairmaster and has been for the past 343 years?
Plot twist. Ba-bum.